Everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Those Movie Dudes podcast. Spencer, thank you for bringing the music down for me. That was very kind. But yeah, we're Those Movie Dudes. This is the Those Movie Dudes podcast, the show where three dudes in their late 20s get together, shoot the shit, talk about movies. Didn't that say 30s? Hold on. I'm so confused. It feels like it at this point, but yeah, this is the show where we're going to talk about movie news, new releases, first-time watches, and finish it off with a little bit of mainstream trivia made by yours truly. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe on all the major platforms, specifically YouTube. Hit that notification button. That way you never miss an episode. At Those Movie Dudes on Instagram, TikTok, X, YouTube, Twitch. And, if you ever want to send us a question, you can go ahead and do that. Instagram. Movie question, maybe we'll feature it on the show. Okay? But yeah, why don't we get started? I'm going to go ahead and bring in the other dudes here. Oh, there's Spencer.
What up?
And there's Nate.
Whoa, jeez.
There they are. Whoa.
Little
Whoa.
boxes here.
Shot right into it. What's going
I
on,
got
guys?
fucked right in here.
How's it going?
Yeah, what's going on? You guys ready to talk about some films and
No.
talk about movies and all that?
Is that
That's
what
what we're
we're
here
doing?
for.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, is there anything else you want to talk about first? Just get off your chest. Catch any good Pokemon today? It was a Pokemon Go day. This was a thing.
I don't know what that means. You guys have been talking about that in the chat all day, and I don't know what that means. Like, so what's going on? How
First of
about
all,
you
it wasn't all
explain
day. It was like 2 messages. Don't make us sound like complete psychopath nerds, which we are. We're talking about movies on a podcast. But I just every year there's Pokemon Go Fest. You pay $15 for a ticket, and for 6 hours over the course of Saturday and Sunday each day, there's a certain variety of Pokemon that you can catch that have a chance of being shiny, about 5% chance. So you can go out, walk around in the sun, sweat your ass off, run into people that you don't care or don't want to meet who are also playing the game, and you catch Pokemon, and it's really great.
You don't necessarily have to pay the money for it. All that does is it gives you like a couple extra encounters, and you get to face like a mythical that isn't in the game.
Did you get a shiny?
No.
Oh, that's why. You got to pay it for those shinies.
No, you don't.
Okay, so what do you do when you catch these Pokemon? I mean,
Throw it in the oven.
Like what does that you do with
Basically,
the
almost nothing. There's no point, really. Like ultimately, they're at the end of the day, it sits on your phone, and then you close it, and unless you go out of your way to be like, "Hey, look what I caught," it doesn't really matter in the end. So
okay, so that explains the screenshots that get sent in the chat sometimes. Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah, because we're excited.
Cool.
Yeah,
I'm happy for you guys. Honestly,
yeah. I mean, Nate went out of his way. He started collecting cards and stuff. I never really got into that, so that's a whole other thing,
Yeah, I've had to dial back a little bit. Kind of broke.
That's for later. Don't play that.
What? Okay.
That's for later. That's actually. It seems like it's related to now. That's actually not. Okay. But yeah. So what's up? I think it's time that we get into our first segment. You guys ready?
No.
Sure.
This is movie
News. All right, Nate. I'm gonna have you take it from here, buddy. What's going on in the news? Anything? Anything important?
I don't know. Last I knew, Spencer was going to do the news today.
Yeah, I
Oh,
had a
great.
couple of prompts just to
Move
ask
on
you
to our
guys. Just 'cause right now, I mean, there really isn't a whole lot of news because we have the writer strike going on, we have the actor strike going on, and just movies are getting delayed left and right. I mean, movie news right now of the week: Dune 2 got delayed to
Dune.
March. Awesome, fantastic.
Yay, that's
Being
exciting.
sarcastic here, exactly. Yeah, fuck that. It's so annoying, and so many other projects are getting delayed, and we're just gonna see just like a really weird next couple of months and years, honestly, with like seeing how this strike is going to affect the releases. So I just want to keep it light here and shoot the shit. I mean, it is 2023. John and I are on a race right now to watching as many 2023 movies as possible. Nate's seen a whole bunch.
We're neck and
And-
neck. I mean, I've had COVID the last week and a half. We're not neck and neck, but to a certain extent, like
Close.
you're like 6
Close.
movies ahead of me, which I think I'm
Maybe.
pretty close.
Maybe,
You're at
but
80, I'm at 74,
we'll see.
and I'm on the road to 100. You know, I've watched a lot of garbage along the way to get to this point, and you know, I'm gonna keep it going. It's August. We got like 8 months left in the year, so I'm not that stupid. I know.
Okay.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
I
a
think-
16-month year, I guess.
Long year, guys. No.
But I just want to ask you guys right now and just see where this goes. But recommend a 2023 film right now. If you're listening and you want to check out some new release films, between the three of us, we've seen a whole lot, and we haven't talked about a lot of the movies that we have seen this year because we took a whole bunch of months off and we just mainly talked about Blu-rays. So
We did do that. Yeah.
right now, I mean, let's talk about some 2023 films just real quick. John, recommend a 2023 film right now.
Okay. I will do that, Spencer. Thank you for putting me on the spot. Man, you know what? Wildflower. I think, it's a great, and I know nobody else is going to recommend it, so I will. That's my recommend of the year so far. It's my number 3. It's a little coming to age, written by somebody in Maine, Kiernan Shipka. Her parents have disabilities.
She went to a Bangor high school, and she wrote this movie
What's her
called
name?
Wildflower. What's her name?
The writer. Is she currently striking? Because what the fuck? No.
I don't know. Probably.
It's just so wholesome and heartfelt and just makes you feel good. And those are the movies that stick with me at the end of the year. So I think it's on Amazon Prime. I check it out. Spencer hated it because he has no soul.
I didn't hate it. It was okay. It was okay.
No.
It was an okay movie, in my opinion. But John, yeah, you loved it. I think it's in your top 5 of the year already.
It's number 3. Number 3. Yeah.
Okay. And it did just get added to Hulu. So if you guys are listening and want to check out Wildflower, Nate,
Want to get wild?
It's on Hulu. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Wildflower, also the name of a song that Elle Fanning sings in Teen Spirit.
Oh, okay. Well,
Okay.
Nate, 2023. Yes. I'm sure you've seen at least a couple at this point.
At least 4, I believe, is what my count is at.
Fair enough.
But I'm going to recommend one that I guess would be pretty mainstream, just because of the love that I have for this movie, and I will buy it once the price goes down. Just a tiny bit. Is Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret.
I was going to make a joke and say, is it that? But it was that. Oh my God, it makes me so happy. Okay.
For all of the people out there that are like, oh, it's about prepubescent teens and whatnot. No, it's heartwarming. The family stuff is great. The whole family is fantastic, and it's just one of those movies that just feels so good, and it's just following this girl who's just growing up, and she has God on her side, and she gets caught in some religious back and forth with her family. So really heartwarming, and I would say watch it. And if you don't, I will find you and make you watch it.
Oh God!
Look at us, Nate. Both of us picking coming to age, just feel good films. I love that. Spencer, what?
And unfortunately, I am not going to go with a coming of age feel good film because the movie that I'm going to recommend is a movie that I was kind of just caught by a complete surprise. The Covenant. Guy Ritchie's The Covenant. It is coming to Amazon Prime, I think September 15th or so. So if you guys don't want to rent it, just wait a couple more weeks and check it out on Prime. But there's a reason why Guy Ritchie put his name in the title. It's because it's probably one of his best movies. This movie is just action-packed. I mean, I was hooked from start to finish. It's a little over the top. It's kind of like, okay, like this aerial shots of the vehicles driving through like the desert landscape with like the really over the top score. It's like, okay, this is kind of funny, but it's so intense, really well done. So The Covenant, I gotta recommend The Covenant. This is one of the biggest surprises of the year, in my opinion. I think it might even be in my top 20. So it's coming to Amazon Prime. So I just want to push that. If you're listening right now, just wait a couple weeks if you haven't seen it. Check it out on Prime. It's fucking awesome. That's what I was saying.
I actually
I have a
have
Prime account. I'm ready.
I have Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, and The Covenant side by side. Which one do you think's first?
I'm gonna say, Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret.
That's correct.
They're
both great. They're both great.
I've seen Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. It's a very cute, sweet movie. It's great. It's a very charming film.
I get the titles mixed up.
Edge of 17. So.
Oh well, that makes a lot of sense. But I get the titles mixed up with It's Me, Bernadette, or Where Are You, Bernadette? Or
Kate Blanchett movie.
Yeah, I kept getting like when I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to see It's Me, Bernadette. I'm like, wait, I mean it's Margaret, whatever. I don't know. It's one of those movies.
All right,
like
so
or something.
We got Wildflower, Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, and The Covenant. So those are some movies that we were recommending you guys to go and check out right now. They're coming to streaming sites, or if not, already available to rent. So check them out right now and
go watch them.
Gonna move on just to the other topic here. What's an upcoming 2023 film that you want to see? Most anticipated right here. What do we got with the rest of the year?
Most anticipated? I have one that's not like most anticipated, but I'm like surprised that I'm really excited to see this.
If you could see this movie tomorrow, what would it be?
It's the new Hunger Games movie.
Really?
And yes, because I think the trailer makes it look really cool. And the thought of, first of all, Hunter Schafer's in it. She plays like President Snow's like daughter or something, or maybe it's his wife because it takes place really early on. And it's literally like the first Hunger Games, so kind of like how it began. So I think if they take like a more kind of like darker approach with it and don't make it so, I don't know, like teen booky, like kind of like how the Hunger Games are good movies, but like they could be darker, I guess is what I'm saying. But if they do that and take that approach, then I think it could be pretty awesome. So I don't even know the title. I think it has a long title, but I'm excited for that.
Ballad of Song and Snakes or something like that.
Ballad of
Buster Scruggs. Yeah, exactly.
No, it's literally the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes.
Yeah, the Ballad of Ice and Fire. Exactly. So I'm looking forward to that.
Cowboys trade their spurs for wings.
Nate, what's an upcoming film that you want to see the most right here? If you could see it tomorrow, what would it be?
If I could see it tomorrow, and I didn't realize how long this movie actually is going to be, but I'm excited.
Part 2.
Killers of the Flower Moon, that new Martin Scorsese one. I was reading the synopsis, and it doesn't give much away, but nearly 3.5 hours. Sounds like it's going to be good. The poster has me sold.
Didn't he do his last movie also on Netflix? Does he have a big deal with Netflix right now or something? Yeah, The Irishman come out on Netflix.
Probably because
this isn't Netflix. This is Apple Plus, so it's going to come out in movies, like movie theaters, like August 6th, and then it's going to come to Apple Plus in December. So it's kind of like a co-collaboration, co-release strategy.
All right, it looks like it's going to be a heavy hitter for sure.
It premiered at the Cannes Film Festival, and it got great reviews. People were saying it's excellent. So
it's probably going to be up in the Best Picture category. I mean, it's coming out that time of year. Leonardo DiCaprio, Martin Scorsese. Man, at the end of the day, that's probably what it's going to end up being.
Unless it just bombs.
Yeah, I mean, that's
just out of the blue, it just bombs, and Brendan Fraser is the one that saves it.
I love that. Have you seen the trailer where it's like one split second shot of Brendan Fraser and the whole theater is like, oh my god, it's Brendan Fraser.
That's the whale.
That's Brendan Fraser. It's like one, and he's like, that's it. Where you're like, oh, Brendan Fraser's
he's in
it.
Goes
to the movie. Yeah,
I think it's in it for maybe like one scene, but yeah, it's gonna be worth it.
That's enough for me.
Josh Peck was in one scene of Oppenheimer, so
the only reason I like the movie. Yeah,
true. For me, I think you guys probably have heard of this movie. I really don't know much about it. It actually premieres this week at one of the film festivals because the fall film festivals kick off this week, end of August as we're recording. And it's David Fincher's next movie, The Killer. It's about a hitman, played by Michael Fassbender, who hasn't been in a movie since X-Men Dark Phoenix.
Apocalypse. Oh.
So he hasn't been in a
Seriously?
movie
It's been a
in
while.
so long. Yeah, and he has 2 movies, but I don't know if this movie got delayed. Next Goal Wins, the Taika Waititi film that's coming out.
Oh, about
later
the
on,
South African like soccer team who stinks.
Yeah. I think that may have gotten delayed. I actually don't know. But yeah, no, he's back with hopefully at least one movie here with The Killer. This is David Fincher's next movie. I think it's going to be really cool. It's a hitman movie. I heard it's really violent. So I'm just excited to see what happens. And Tilda Swinton's in it. So, it's going to come to Netflix in, I think, November.
I'll be there day one then in that case.
Tilda Swinton. I mean, come on. She's the best. So,
yeah.
No.
I love people that look like aliens and reptiles.
She's a great actress. She's a character.
She is fantastic. She was so good in Asteroid City. She was just funny.
Was she the alien? That's what I'm asking you, though.
No, you know who one of my favorite characters in Asteroid City was
Maya Hawke.
Nope, not Maya Hawke. Jeffrey Wright.
Oh, the commander,
who's the commander. Oh my god, he had like a monologue, like speech where he was like talking to everybody. It was so funny. Like the score that was complimented. It was so funny.
Is he the one from Westworld? The older, with the beard. Yeah. He's awesome.
He was in like Catching Fire and a bunch of other stuff too.
Commissioner Gordon,
super underrated
Robert Pattinson's Batman. Yeah.
Ooh, I forgot.
Yeah, that's right.
About that.
Yeah. Right. Cool. Yeah. Well, you got any more silly little quackery questions? Or
no, that's it. Just wanted to shoot the shit there. That's
I like it. You know what, Spencer? I appreciate that. But with all that being said, I think it's time to move on to our first time watches.
First time watches, are you watching with us? We those movie dudes, and we about to discuss another movie that we've never seen. So grab some popcorn and pull up a seat.
What? Like you caught me eating my popcorn.
Jeez.
You look so good, like you got nervous.
Oh no!
Doing something. Like,
I knew it was coming.
Headlights.
All right. This is the segment where we're gonna talk about a new movie that at least one of us hasn't seen. This week it's Nate's movie. He made the choice. He made the decision. He came up with it. He forced us to watch it. Nate, take it away. What did we watch this week?
We watched Paddington 2. No, I'm just kidding.
Finally. No, I'm just kidding.
No, we watched a little Brian De Palma film called The Fury from 1978. Stars Kirk Douglas, Amy Irving, John Cassavetes, and Andrew Stevens. It's basically Carrie on steroids. Like,
yeah, pretty much.
Kirk Douglas's son gets kidnapped, and he's part of the CIA. And he enlists the help of another psychic to help try and get his son back. But little does he know, his son is no longer what he was. And yeah, like I said, it's basically Carrie on steroids. I love Amy Irving. She was in Carrie, which is one of my favorite, probably my favorite De Palma movie. And of course, anything with Kirk Douglas in it, it's awesome. Like Kirk Douglas just putting shoe polish in his hair to be in disguise, stuffing his shirt with pillows and everything to get through. And John Cassavetes, it's always nice to see him on the screen. He was in Rosemary's Baby, did a bunch of independent films in the 60s and 70s. So pretty good cast.
I've always just been taken away by Kirk Douglas's like almost Buzz Lightyear like chin. And there's a scene in the movie where when he's holding his son off the edge of the roof. Spoiler, I guess. I mean, that is a scene in the movie, but it's like a close up on his chin. And I'm like, damn, do people like still genetically have chins like that? Because I've never seen it. And it almost
Michael
seems
Douglas has it. You know why?
Because it's his kid.
Exactly.
Let me look up a picture of Michael Douglas. Does he have a chin like Buzz Lightyear?
It's not as distinct as Kirk Douglas, that's for sure. But
it's crazy.
It's like someone just put a nail on his chin when he was a baby and just sat there and tapped it until the parents said he's good. Yeah. He's good. That's enough.
I mean, at least old Michael Douglas doesn't have any really pronounced. Well, no. It's there. It's there. I don't know.
It's super
It-
important.
It's not. Yeah, I mean, it is very important. That was my first observation with this film.
But what'd you
Nate,
guys think?
well, why'd you pick this movie for us to check out?
Because it is one of those movies that I saw on like a horror movie list. I think it was top 50 horror movies you've never seen before. And this was one of them. And I just heard the premise for it. Brian De Palma, very acclaimed director. And this cast is what got me. Like I said, kind of in the intro to it. Amy Irving, I have the biggest crush on her for some reason.
Is that this girl?
Yes, she
Yeah.
is the psychic in the movie. Yeah. And it just anything like this kind of thriller has to do with telekinesis and telepathy. Always kind of interesting because it adds that wild card to it. But yeah, that's why I picked it. It was recommended by a lot of people. A lot of horror fans liked it, so that's why we watched it.
You know what I was pleasantly surprised by?
What was
with this
that?
movie?
Enlighten us.
John Williams' score. I had no idea that he was the composer for this movie, and then when his credit came up in the opening, because this movie opened with all the credits, so you saw everyone that worked on this movie, and it said John Williams, like original score. I was like, no way, okay, like this is gonna be sweet. And at times, I was like, holy shit, this is a really good score, and I just had never heard it before. I had never even heard of this movie until you picked it for our poll 2 weeks ago. I hadn't heard of any of the movies that you picked, and so I went with this one.
It was never streaming.
It's usually how it is.
That is true. Yeah, I mean, a lot of movies are being added to streaming sites for the first time, which is pretty cool. And Brian De Palma, I really liked Blowout. We actually did a podcast on that one with John Travolta. That one was a really good movie, and then obviously Carrie and Dressed to Kill and his other films. And so, yeah, I was looking forward to checking this one out. The premise seemed kind of interesting. And yeah, it was kind of like Carrie, but as a spy thriller. I mean, it's interesting that he did another movie with telekinesis and everything. But this one was way more like espionage and like undercover kind of stuff. And I had a good time with it. I thought it was pretty fun. I thought there were some pacing issues that I just wish that it was maybe a little shorter. But other than that, I mean, I was pleasantly surprised by this movie. I didn't think that it was a horror film. So when it was being defined as a horror film, when I was like researching the movie afterwards, I was like, really? But regardless, I mean, the score, Kirk Douglas, the directing, the camera work, and the end shot, the ending of the movie, all just pretty big positives for me. So, I mean, I had a good time with this movie, at least for me.
If you look this up on Google Images, you may have the ending spoiled for you because that's probably the most shocking part of the movie.
It's an explosive ending. Like it really is.
Yeah, it's like if you've seen the movie Spontaneous, it's that.
Yeah.
It's someone explodes.
Okay. So
sorry, I mean we basically spoiled it, but
I tried to be subtle, and you
didn't. No, I don't think you did. If you say it's
I did.
explosive, you pretty much hit
an
the nail.
explosive. You said someone explodes. I said it has an explosive.
I
ending.
didn't say that.
I'm right. You're wrong. Continue.
Okay. My observation with this movie, I did fall asleep halfway through, but I had disc golfed in the morning. I was very tired. I had a fleece blanket wrapped around my whole body, and then I rolled it back 2 hours later. Oh, wait.
Sorry, I didn't mean to have audio. I was just playing a clip.
It works.
Oh, what's she going in there for? She better be careful. No, for me, it really felt like almost a superhero origin story. If she ended up being like a superhero, she's like discovering her powers and whatnot, and kind of being like terrified of what she's become. She felt like a lot like Rogue from X-Men, but instead of killing people and kind of pulling the life out of them, which she does, she kind of just makes them bleed out of their eye sockets. So it was just, I didn't expect this movie from Nate. I kind of like just called The Fury knowing nothing about it. I was like, okay, like it's probably going to be like terrible. But it ended up being like pretty awesome, honestly. Like the only thing that took me out of it was the blood, like the weird use of blood in this movie, where it almost seemed like just really over the top, like where like blood was coming out of places where blood doesn't normally come out of. I was like, why?
Because she's got telekinetic powers, man.
Yeah, but there were scenes
and essentially
where
blood can come out of anywhere in your body because blood is everywhere.
Blood is everywhere, but there were parts where it was like just coming out of people like the top of their hands, like for no reason with no
Yeah, through their
openings.
cuticles. Yeah, right where the nail is.
No,
Like, if
no.
you
Well,
pull a
that
nail out, that
happened,
bleeds.
but there were scenes where it came out of their pores like it was sweat
No,
almost.
the guy had a cut on his hand. I think I know it was like a scar, and when she touched his hand, it reopened because of that. Like, it's all explained.
Okay. Well, you're right. That you are correct
Okay.
about that. Actually, that is the scene I was thinking of, and there was a scar. And okay, fine, fair enough. You got me. But
Fair
yeah,
enough.
it
We're
was
good.
surprisingly just more fun than I expected, and I did actually really like the character of, oh gosh, it was like, what was her name? Jennifer,
Jillian.
Jillian. Yes, yeah, Amy Irving.
I really enjoyed this movie. I just wish it was more based on the Jillian character and like her discovering her powers, and less of the Kirk Douglas trying to run from people, because there was a scene where he climbs in through a couple's window and kind of holds them hostage, and I'm like, so the good guy is holding these people hostage, so that threw mixed signals. I was like, okay, this is not very Kirk Douglas-y, but I love the woman in it who's like,
I
letting
really
him
like
in
that
and-
scene.
Doesn't she keep her family tied up because they're being
Yeah.
like rude to her at the end?
Yeah.
I'm like, hold on.
Wait for them to wait for Mash to finish, and then you can release them. And then they leave. He leaves. She's like, "No, I'm not releasing it." They're like, "Please,
Yeah.
please."
I love that.
That scene was funny though, because like the second, like the old lady walks out of the room, and then Kirk Douglas is like behind her with a gun, and the lady's just like cooking in the kitchen. She just immediately doesn't really react. She just turns to her husband. She's like, "See, I told you, if we
shouldn't
lived in
live
Melrose, this shit wouldn't happen. We should have gone to Melrose." Like, it's just like, what? Where is this
Yeah.
comedy coming from? And yeah, then like Kirk Douglas and the old lady become like best friends, and she's like making him breakfast while like the rest of her family's tied up and like gagged on the couch. I was like, where is this comedy coming from? I did not expect to like have the little campy vibe with this movie. And then he's like shirtless, like Tarzaning like out the window on the New York like subway system. It's like, wait, what the fuck? But
That's when it kind of pulled
It's a
me
superhero
out. I was
movie.
like, he shouldn't be like, and because Kirk Douglas, I think he had to have been like 50s, almost 60.
I mean, this is the late 70s. Yeah. So.
God, he looks good though.
And yeah, he just I think they focused too much on him and wanted him to be the star of the movie. But I think Amy Irving's character was like the unsung hero. I would like to have seen more of her past and the things that she had done, other than just mentioning it like, oh, I don't want to hurt you type of thing. Like, see how she got these powers. And I wish there
think
was
it's-
more of the Andrew Stevens character, because you see him get taken, and then you only see him maybe a
the
couple
son,
times after
Robin?
that. Yes. Yeah.
That makes sense.
And more of them like going back and forth, like the good versus the bad with these powers. But I thought what was impressive was that whole scene at the indoor carnival, because that was all practical and just
That was a
everything
wild
being
scene.
shot.
Yeah.
It's very clearly practical.
And just the veins
Yeah.
popping in his forehead, and just the fact that he's let this power just kind of overtake him, and he basically is, it's like he's a supervillain.
Do you
I
think
just thought it was funny they're
veins-
all dressed up like, as I don't want to say they were dressed up as Arabs, but maybe Muslim is the more correct term. But they're all waving like they've never been at a carnival before, and then they just turn and look, and part of it's flying through the window.
They're all having a good time.
very over the top.
Yeah. I thought that this scene right here, I mean, there's a lot of over the top scenes in this movie, but the one that we're showing in particular is a scene
Mhm.
where Kirk Douglas shows up with a out of a cab, and Amy Irving's character is just like escaping, and then like Kirk Douglas's love interest is also running behind her, and the scene of her getting like hit by the car and just like, it was almost like the scene of a movie of a short film that I did in college with one of our friends that got hit by a car. Like, that's what it reminded me of, just the slow motion shot of him just like, oh no, and then she's just like bleeding out. I don't know, it's just I get it, it's the 70s, and like they did a really good job with the practical effects for the most part in this movie, but you watch this in 2023 and it's just like, oh, okay, like this is a little bit ridiculous. but I actually was kind of impressed with that type of stuff, even if it was a little silly.
Sure. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And
I don't know. What do you expect, man? He's one of those ones that like it's either going to be really good or it might be a little subpar. He's kind of one of those guys, but he's very very famous. He's made some amazing movies. So
yeah.
No, I liked it a lot. Do you want me to do final thoughts on it, or
I suppose you could wrap it up.
Yeah,
okay,
sure. Go ahead. Nate.
I wouldn't say that this is one of my favorite De Palma movies. There were definitely parts about it that I really liked, and then like I've already mentioned, the Amy Irving Jillian character, and just how she's discovering what she can do, and the way they hint at it with like the girl who's pregnant at the school, and that's when you first see her, like the extension of her powers. But I could have done less of the Kirk Douglas being like this lead CIA agent trying to get to his son, because he just I couldn't believe it. It just Kirk Douglas, he was great in Paths of Glory. He's done amazing things. But this one, I think they should have focused more on Amy Irving's character, because I couldn't take my eyes off her. I don't know if that's just because I have a crush on her or whatnot, but anything with telekinesis I find interesting, because it's that extra wild card that if you throw it into a movie, sometimes it just can be a throwaway thing, but I think it really worked in this one. Overall, I had a really good time, just not my favorite. So I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. Not quite up in the 4 range. Maybe on a rewatch. But like John said, with the practical effects, especially going towards the end, they really get ramped up. But I appreciate that they did that. And like Spencer said, the John Williams score, I'll take that any day. Any day.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was a John Williams score, but I actually didn't. I thought it was a noticeable score, and that's usually something that I won't notice unless it's like obviously very good. So, and I was pleasantly surprised by the story. Like I had no expectations going in, just because I knew nothing about the movie. 70s, so my expectations end up being low. But just when I saw Kirk Douglas, I'm like, I know that guy. So I was into it from the beginning. I recognize him from something. But I liked his character in the movie. I agree. Jillian, the character of Jillian was awesome. I would have liked to see more of her. And kind of just her arc throughout the movie was actually pretty well done. So yeah, I enjoyed it more than I expected. That scene was weird.
And that started the movie. It started the movie.
What is this? Yeah. They're like in this weird swimming race, and then they like hug each other, and like, is that his grandfather? Or I don't know what I'm watching. But no, it's all right. I went man, I think I'm gonna go 3 out of 5. It's fresh. I liked it. There's very few things I have wrong with it. So it's a good movie. It's a good movie.
Yeah, I would actually agree with you guys. Everything you guys are saying, I gave it a 3 out of 5 as well. I thought it was a solid movie. It was fresh for me. There was enough intrigue and that kept me interested. I just wish Nate kind of nailed it. Like I wish there was less focus on Kirk Douglas, but I get it. I mean, like you're making a movie and you have Kirk Douglas, who's arguably one of the most famous movie stars at the time. So it's like
you're gonna use.
You have Kirk Douglas, you got to use him, and whatever it is, even though it was the weakest part of the story, still got to do it. And even with the opening of them in Israel, and like they're having like that shootout with like the fake like terrorist attack that gets staged. It was interesting though, because they had like the cameras going, and like even Kirk Douglas like, what the hell's going on? Like the son's just screaming like in the background, and then Kirk Douglas just running around with a machine gun, like I was in Past the Glory, yeah. So I mean, like it was entertaining. It was fun. It was cool. I laughed out loud one time. So yeah, it was worth it for that. So I gave it
one single time. Yeah,
one single time. It was when the lady I mentioned already. It was when the lady turned. It was like, we should have moved to Melrose. Like this wouldn't have happened if we were in Melrose. I was like, what the fuck is this? Like this is cute.
Also the placement of cats in that scene was pretty funny. I kept looking to see if there were more cats.
And and that was whatever. Actually, I'm not going to mention that. But I really like the scene when he gets in the car with the undercover cops, or not really undercover cops, but they're just the
They were
cops in
cops.
that.
I thought they were like
undercover
fake
car, at least.
cops. I thought that's what they were
Um,
trying to be like. You're not a cop.
And
I think they're like
he basically like
detectives,
directs
but-
them around and everything, and then they go into that like construction site that's all like foggy, and then like the villains get all like disoriented and start like shooting at the wrong people. Like it was just kind of like a weird, out of nowhere scene, but I really enjoyed it. I was just like, okay, this is interesting. This is cool. But yeah, it's all 3 out of 5 for me. It's worth the watch on HBO Max. It's, like Nate said, I mean, it has been streaming before, so if you're interested in watching old movies, go for it. It's worth it.
I
It's
have
not even
one
that
more-
old. I mean,
have-
it's old, but not.
I have
dated.
one
It's
thing,
dated.
though.
Yeah. Yes,
like-
Nate.
I'm pretty sure, like, because at the beginning, Kirk Douglas, he ends up getting off the boat because it's being shot at. But I want to know how quick his reaction time is, because I'm pretty sure once the bullet hits the motor, it's going to blow up. So I don't think you have much of a decision on when you're going to jump,
Yeah,
because they just kind of show it blow up and then he's swimming away. I was like,
I wouldn't try to
I
poke
don't
too
know.
many holes into this movie, Nate.
I know. You saw me when we were doing the Green Mile, and that one little nitpick that I
Oh
had, and
my
it was because
God.
there was too much headroom. Like, whatever.
That wasn't your. Was that your nitpick? I thought it was the framing of the shot. I don't know how to do with the
Yes.
headroom.
Well,
Interesting,
yeah,
man.
like Tom Hanks was like right here looking this way. And there was
Okay, so
all
that's
this
nose
space.
room. That's a leading like.
back room, whatever. The Fury.
Fury.
Great.
Yeah.
The Fury, yeah. So that is our
Yeah.
first time watch for this week. If you haven't seen The Fury, you can go ahead and watch that on Max, HBO Max.
Max.
If you want to check it out.
Good old Max.
Yep.
But
Alrighty,
yeah,
well
cool.
that brings us to the point where we now have to figure out what our first time watch is going to be for the next episode in 2 weeks.
yeah.
If you guys are listening to the podcast, you guys can go and check out this movie as well. If you've already seen it, fire in your thoughts on this movie as well. So we're going to vote on it right here. You're going to see us vote live as we're recording. John has sent me his 3 picks. This is John's week.
I have them in hand too. So would you like me to reveal them that way?
Nate, you choose.
I don't know what they are, so
I have the Blu-rays in front of me. I was gonna hold them up one by one.
you
for-
can do
Because
that.
I'm gonna send the poll on Messenger, and that's where we're gonna have to vote.
You can do that as well, but I can also just show them to you initially
Might as well.
to
I'm gonna see
reveal.
them before I vote anyway. So
Yeah.
it's-
I'm gonna do
reveal
that.
them.
So the options are all 3 films I've never seen before. Okay. Option number 1 is The Lost Boys. Okay. This is
That's a
I don't
good
know anything
Steve
about it.
Kober movie.
It is, but you know what? Like I said earlier in the show, I have a very limited selection of films that I have not seen that I would want to put up to do on the show, and this is one of them. So
I love the
And it-
slipcover though.
yeah,
pretty
no, I got
sick.
this. This was like $7.99 on Black Friday last year. So here we go. The Lost Boys. Option number 1. Option number 2 is Warrior.
Mhm.
All right, Warrior, the Tom Hardy boxing movie. It's got a pretty awesome, almost not lenticular, but plastic.
It's just a plastic
see-through.
sleeve for.
Yep, slipcover. There's also a steel book, so go through that. And lastly, My Cousin Vinny with Marissa Tomei and Joe Pesci. I thought this looked like a lot of fun. And I heard that this is one of Bill Belichick's favorite movies. He's seen it almost 100 times. So My
Okay,
Cousin
that's
Vinny.
important.
All right.
It's very important.
It is to me. It's almost football season, and I heard him talk. He one of his most famous quotes is from this movie in a press conference. So I was like, all right, My Cousin Vinny, perfect.
All right. What's going to happen? Poll has been sent in the chat. You guys are going to have to go and figure it out. What are we going to watch? What are we going to watch?
Oh, I'm ready. I'm good.
way.
Yeah.
What's going to happen?
When are we doing it? Are we doing like a 3, 2, 1 or?
Yeah, go
I'm
for it.
gonna 3.
Send the vote.
Am I voting too as well? No,
Everyone's
okay,
voting
you guys
right
got to
now.
vote first. You got to vote first. Okay.
3, 2, 1.
The fuck?
Reload. Oh, there's me. Oh, there's Spencer. I swear to God.
Wow. So okay. So Spencer went.
'Cause
with
I've seen
Lost
the other
Boys.
two.
My
I've seen
Cousin
the
Vinny,
other two. That's why.
Nate went with My Cousin Vinny. Okay. All right, so I gotta either make a 3-way tie or break the tie here. You know what? I want to go with something fun. And Marissa Tomei is looking real nice on that cover. I'm gonna go with My Cousin Vinny. My cousin, and this will make my mom very happy because she bought this for me. So, My Cousin Vinny, it is. Marissa Tomei, Joe Pesci, Ralph Macchio. Come on.
Marissa
Okay.
Tomei won an Oscar for it.
Did
Some
she?
say
Watched
it's
it
undeserved, but
once. I saw it back in college, I think, and I feel like I remember liking it. So, all right.
All right.
My Cousin Vinny.
And you know what? Shout out to our friend Logan who just got engaged on the top of a mountain.
woo!
That's pretty awesome. Freaking Quessy, dude.
Quessy
What?
getting married.
I saw. I can't not say anything. I just saw this on Facebook. That's awesome.
Breaking
for
news.
Logan.
Wow.
That's, dude. I
Hell yeah.
could scream. That's so exciting. Okay,
oh shit.
let's go. Good job, Logan. My mom even commented. My mom comments before I did. She's
Bad friend.
okay. All right, guys. Let's get into the next segment. We're gonna talk some new releases. Oh no!
I'm sorry.
I think we're gonna cut
bro,
this
I don't even know
segment.
what we're
I
doing
don't
anymore.
think we can. I don't think we can do this again.
Is this like a street legal
What?
podcast? Are we allowed to post this? Might have to put this on our OnlyFans. Okay.
I was trying to get the rest of the
releases.
Go-Gurt out.
Is that how you did it, dude? I remember back in the day, I would sit on it. This was like second grade. I would sit, and this is a real thing that happened. It was in the cafeteria. I don't know if I got dared, but I was like, I'm gonna take this Go-Gurt, I'm gonna sit on it. What do you think happened? This is a full Go-Gurt, by the way.
It
Full Go-Gurt.
exploded all over you.
All over me and the person next to me.
Well, that's what happens.
Yep. So don't do that. Stay in school.
Spencer,
Yeah.
I apologize for my vulgarity.
Oh, it's okay. It's
Happens
just
to the
gonna
best of us.
live on this stream forever.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
just I love how he's
I'm comfortable with who I am.
right as you did it too. It's just like a perfect.
It was just a shake weight. It was just shake
Yeah,
weight.
yeah,
Yeah,
No, he was trying to
you
get the
know.
Go-Gurt.
I was just cleaning it.
You're explaining. It's just cleaning.
It's just cleaning it.
Uh,
I was just cleaning it.
Lord. Good job.
all
man.
right, yeah.
Throw it in the oven.
We're not
throw it
gonna-
in the oven.
Oh, God damn it.
Oh, thank you, Patrick Gates. Thank you for all you do.
Well,
Yeah, this is the new release segment. Who's hosting? I want to make sure.
I'm just trying to
Me.
move on.
Okay. Nate's hosting.
You can
that's right.
take it though.
In this segment, we're going to break down all the new release not all the new release, because we talked about earlier, we've seen a lot of movies, but we're picking 2 of the new release movies that all 3 of us have seen. To clarify, Nate, Spencer, you both seen these movies? Yes?
He hasn't seen
No?
one of them.
Oh, really? Okay. That's fine. You fucking asshole.
I've seen 1 out
but-
of 2.
Wow. There's only 2 movies to see, and you only saw 1. This week, we're
Well,
discussing...
He's waiting. He doesn't want to see it in theaters.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I get. I understand that. Like yeah, we'll get into it. But
Well,
yeah.
we'll get into it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to start off with The Passenger.
Oh.
Passenger.
Wow. Okay.
Kyle
Sounds good.
Gallner.
What the French toast?
Oh, there
Yeah.
he is.
So I'm gonna pull this up on IMDb to see a little bit of a because I guarantee most people who listen to this podcast probably don't know what this movie is. So The Passenger, 2023 film directed by Carter Smith, from Maine. Let's go.
Ooh,
Guys
there
from
it
Maine.
is.
Yep. Represent.
Little synopsis here. A man forced to face his fears and confront his troubled past. He must find a way to survive when his coworker snaps and goes on a violent killing spree. The Passenger. Yeah, I mean, I knew nothing about this movie going in other than the fact that it was by that director, like the guy who had made The Ruins, which I haven't even seen The Ruins, but and the trailer looked pretty frisky, a little crazy. And that's kind of exactly what this movie is. It does not hold back. It's bloody. this freaking dude, what's his name? The one who plays
Kyle Gallner.
Kyle Gallner. This guy's got some baggage. Got some baggage for sure. Just the kind of the tension filled nature of when they're in the car, and every person they run into, you do not know what's to come in this movie. And it was just it's a wild ride, you know. Oh my god, I totally forgot about the opening scene, dude, because it takes place early in the movie.
Yeah, the movie is brutal. It is a brutal movie. And I didn't really know anything about this movie going into it. I just know that it popped up. I think, John, you were mentioning just a whole bunch of movies that you were going to watch, and this was one of them. Because it just got released on VOD on August 6th. I mean, you can go and watch it on Amazon Prime right now, or whatever streaming site you rent movies on. But it was directed by Carter Smith, who, like you said, he did The Ruins, but he's from Maine, and we're all Maine natives, and it's always exciting when somebody from Maine goes on and does something pretty fucking cool like this. And
small state doesn't happen a lot. So.
We had to check it out, and I thought this was probably one of the most like tension-filled movies I've seen of the year so far. I was kind of on the edge of my seat throughout. The performances are excellent, especially Kyle Gallner. Gallner. He is phenomenal in this role, and he is just unhinged. He decided that he snapped one day, and he is just gonna wreak havoc with everybody he comes across. And the movie's just fully unhinged. It's just intense, and it's a wild ride. It's insane. So I really enjoyed it. But it is a hard recommend because you got to be in the mood.
It's a dark film.
Go down this dark thriller and check this one out. So you got to be in the mood for it, but it is worth it, I think. So I really dug it. Personally.
Spencer literally said, "Hey, you should watch this," and when I said okay, he sent me money so I could rent it. Because he felt that he was forcing me to watch this, which I wasn't forced, because I was very impressed. Like, I was glad that they let Kyle Gallner just kind of go crazy, and I was kind of his character's mannerisms. He reminded me of a John Bernthal type character, just kind of the rough and tough guy who's just gonna be a badass, try and help this guy, but crazy, very unhinged. And you saw in the little trailer that when they're in the gas station and he holds the gun, and I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, is this in the kid's head? But then I realized, oh no, the guy's just turned around, and he could snap at any second. Well, he basically already snapped, but he could just continue going. But the one thing that I don't understand is there's a part in it where he mercilessly beats the crap out of that man, and I think
the teacher
kills him. Yeah,
he kills him,
and you never know why.
I think that there was something in the past. There's definitely, because there's a lot of things in this movie that have to do with like backstory, like that go over kind of just the trauma of the past of Bradley's character, and then clearly that scene brought up some stuff in the past for Benson as well, where maybe this guy was just mean to him back in grade school. I mean,
I'm thinking worse things probably if it pushed him to the breaking point, like
maybe. But also, this guy seems to have a switch that can flip at any moment. Like it wasn't even that big a deal. Like I don't know. This guy clearly has a very traumatizing past, and it was funny because like the opening scene in this movie, he almost seems like a side character. Like, he doesn't seem like he's going to be the guy that breaks out and controls the whole film. And then when he comes back with that gun and just commits horrific crimes, it's that. I mean, God, that was a moment. That was like almost like a Hereditary moment. Like, whoa.
And it was so shockingly violent too. Like, it just came out of
Brawl
nowhere.
in Cell Block 99 violent.
It was so over the top and graphic.
It was like Sam Levinson came in for a scene and was like, let's think of the worst thing I could do.
Maybe, yeah. That probably would have gone sexual, though, not violent.
True.
But with this one, like, I was kind of wondering throughout the whole movie, like, I was really wondering if we were going to get like a real reason on why Benson was taking such pity on Bradley. Because, I mean, like, Sure. I mean, you can just from the obvious things that you could observe. Bradley is just pretty. He doesn't stand up for himself. He just is. He's
I think
just
his name's
super
Randy,
quiet.
right?
Randy
It's
Bradley.
Randy Bradley or Bradley Randy or something. Yeah, it's one of the two.
Yeah.
It's two first names. So like I was wondering like why is he taking such pity on him? Like why is he like going to this length to really just ruin his entire life just to throw it all away, just to take this guy around and be like, all right, let's go uncover your past trauma and figure it out. So I was kind of wondering like what's the real reason behind this? You never really get it. But regardless, the ride like throughout the movie, it was still thoroughly entertaining and still enjoyable. But like I was wondering if we were going to get like a more deeper meaning on why he was doing this, but I guess it's more up to interpretation. But I don't know, because you don't really get much development with this Benson character, as in like why he snapped, why he's doing this. It's just like kind
You
of just
see his home life, kind of.
Yeah, his
So
mom. Yeah, for
that
sure.
kind of leads into it a little bit. But there a scene in particular that, because you mentioned tension when we were introducing the movie, when they're driving down that long stretch of road, and then you just see the cop flying this way, and your heart just starts beating. Like
His hands on the gun too on the dash. Yeah.
yeah, and then he like pulls
Yeah.
over on the side and he goes, I saw you eyeing that. Like, if you just don't get in my way, there will be no problems. And I was like kind of hoping there would be like a little bit of a friendship bond, but then again, this Bradley character was just I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing right now. I'm just kind of being held hostage, but let's just listen to what this guy says. And like he does do some good things for his life. Like he goes and talks to that girl and the whole thing with
Kind
his
of has
teacher.
his best interests in mind almost. Like he tries to force him to do things like to bring him out of his comfort zone and talk to the girl, talk to the teacher even, which is the craziest backstory of the whole movie is what happened with that and kind of why he acts the way he does, where he's just carried this guilt throughout his entire life. And like the scenes with her, I mean, God, it's just
And
like
she's great. Like,
I thought that she was the actress from Dexter and from Barry almost the whole movie until I just saw the cast list. I thought she was the blonde.
Yeah.
I
who
thought it
plays
was Maria
Sally.
Bello for a second. I was like,
Is that her name?
like
I
the
don't know.
mom from Prisoners. I was like, she looks kind of familiar.
Oh
but
yeah, yeah. But yeah, no, it's her name is
Yeah,
Liza Wheel. She's really
that
good
opening
in the
shot
movie.
too of like her screaming with like the eye just like gushing.
I forgot
blood,
about
too.
that.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it was
what does
like,
that
oh my
tie
god,
into?
whoa.
And
Like obviously this kid's got some trauma, so we'll see what happens. And yeah, I was wondering how I was going to connect. And it was interesting that they went down the road. It's like, oh, yeah, it was my teacher. I was misbehaving, and yeah, I feel bad, guilty about it. And their whole scene was actually like really well directed and really well done.
Yeah.
And
felt like Mass.
the third
They were
act was
just very intense.
a little weak in my opinion. I mean, from what it was building up to be. Although I loved the lighting and like the ending of like what
At the
happened.
diner.
But I was expecting maybe just a little bit more from it. But it reminded me of a movie that I saw a couple of weeks ago or a month ago at this point, Sympathy for the Devil. It's a Nicolas Cage
It
movie
was a
that
lot
he did
like
with
that.
Joel Kinnaman. Yeah, very much
Yeah.
like that movie. Like very, very
Mhm.
similar. But this one is way more like gritty and like unhinged and realistic. The other one is just like kind of a Nicolas Cage,
Like a
just
dark comedy.
weird.
Almost.
Yeah,
That one, not this one.
yeah,
Yeah.
this one was way more grounded. So I really enjoyed this one. It was a pleasant surprise. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. This is a very solid movie. It's in my top 20 of the years so far. But yeah, Ducky liked it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Ducky
I
approved.
also
approved.
liked it. I think we're all pretty much in agreement. It's very, very dark, but it's a really well done movie as well. Like there's just some really tension filled scenes. The acting is very good from all these guys. I like the arc of Bradley's characters being like almost saying nothing. Like he's like put in a corner from these kind of bullies to eventually kind of just breaking out of his shell, pretty much due to what the other guys forcing him to go, like putting him out of his comfort zone. It's a weird dynamic that ends up helping this character in a way. So yeah, it's definitely was a surprise. This movie came out of nowhere. I also gave it a 3.5 out of 5. Thought it was really well done. So The Passenger, yeah.
There was, I feel like towards like at the end, I didn't think the Bradley character or the Randy, whatever you want to call him, it almost felt like he didn't learn anything, because everything just
Yeah, a little
ends and he's just kind of, he looks like he hasn't changed. I was kind of hoping he does a little bit where he stands up to Benson and he's like, come on, don't, like, what's the point? You said she wasn't going to do anything. She did something and you shot her for it. Like, and I was hoping he would stand up for himself a little bit more and just kind of take more control. But the brutality and just the honesty that I feel like the director was trying to convey as far as these two real feeling characters. And I'll admit, like, I work at Hannaford, the grocery chain, and I feel like both of these characters all day when I'm at Hannaford. Like, I feel like the Bradley character that's just kind of doing his job and whatnot. But then I also feel like Benson, where I just want to go out to my car and grab I want to keep my job, so I'm not going to go any further. But
Shit.
I
get it.
feel like both of those characters sometimes, where just the customer says there's no good grapes and there's 50 bags of grapes out there and they want me to grab a new box and they make me eat a rotten pear.
Dark humor, guys. Dark humor.
Yeah. Very dark. Yeah.
But yes,
I
am actually on board with you guys with the 3.5 train. I think it had more good going for it, and it had heart in certain places, but then it was just very gritty and dark. But yeah, no, I liked it a lot, and I was very surprised. Spencer, you'll be getting your $6.99 back because I think it was very justified. And yeah, so 3.5 out of 5 for me.
If you didn't like it, where you're not going to reimburse Spencer, was that the plan?
No, I hate it when he just sends me money.
I'm not looking for any reimbursement. No, here's the thing, because I hadn't seen any movies in theaters over the last couple of weeks, and you guys obviously had. And so it's like the only movie that I saw is The Passenger. And I know that John had seen it, but Nate hadn't seen it. And I was like, all right, well, if Nate wants to be part of the discussion and we can at least narrow down to 2 movies, he's got to watch The Passenger. So I felt responsible for Nate to watch The Passenger. So I was like, okay, I'll just send you the money for a rental. So you have to go through the inconvenience of renting it and watching it. And then bam. So bam. Perfect.
That's part of producing this podcast. You did
but
it.
Like,
is what it is. Is what it is.
Like, but you next time just say, hey, this movie sounds good. You should watch it, and I'll go, okay.
That's probably all it would take. I don't know.
No,
because that a $6.99 rental, that's pretty freaking.
I mean, that's probably the most I would spend on a rental. $6.99 is probably the max I would spend.
It's the least that I can do. But the movie that I did not see that you guys went and saw in theaters, fucking Last Voyage of the Demeter.
And boy was it the Last Voyage.
Until they come out with a sequel. Voyage of the Demeter 2.
Technically, maybe. I don't know. They probably won't. I don't know how much money this movie made, but it's basically about this ship back in the 1800s that's bringing cargo. I don't know where they're coming from. Nate,
Romania
to like to England,
London.
Right? To London. Yeah. That's right. So it's like a 4-week journey, and they get this crew together. And they have a bunch of cargo on the ship, and come to find out, fucking Dracula's on that ship too. And his plan is like, I'm gonna get to London and just be Dracula. So just imagine the claustrophobia, like just the claustrophobic nature of being stuck on a ship with nothing. Like, for the most part, it's weeks and weeks and weeks back in the 1800s, and Dracula's on your ship picking you off one by one. I mean, that's a pretty terrifying concept, if you ask me. And like,
to London.
Liam Cunningham.
And Liam Cunningham's in this movie. Cunningham. It's so funny because, like, talk about being typecasted. Of course, he's a seaman again. Like, he's always a seaman for some reason. Why? I mean, he's got the accent. He's got the beard. I mean, he's literally, his name is Davos Seaworth in Game of Thrones. Like, that is just what he is to cinema. And I think he's perfect in the movie. Once again, I mean, he's awesome. But Nate, what were your kind of initial thoughts with this movie?
I think it's impressive when you can make a ship so claustrophobic when you're out on the open ocean, which is like the least claustrophobic. Like, you're in such a tight space on this massive flat area that there's just nothing you can do. You're left to nature's course. And I think there could have been a little bit more character development with the main character. But they do get into it a little bit later with like him becoming a doctor and the reason why he can't get jobs and stuff like that. But this movie was creepy. It just, the way that they show little bits of Dracula here and there, or
Yeah.
you just see him moving a little bit. Javier Botet was the perfect person to play him because he's just a great physical actor. He does so many things. He might have even played. No, he didn't play the Gill Man from Shape of Water.
No, that
But
was oh gosh.
Not Doug Bradley.
Doug Jones? Doug Jones, I think.
Doug Jones. Yes.
Doug Jones. Doug Jones.
Yes. Correct.
Thank you.
But I feel like in this we might have seen the Dracula character a little too much. And I think there were points where it got a little repetitive, where it's like day, then night, death, day, then night, then death.
Sure.
And-
It got to the point where there was like, you knew what was going to happen. There was no hope. Like basically Dracula, and I actually like this part of the movie, is the fact that he's basically like very weak, just like Dracula is in culture. Like if you like Renfield, like the movie's literally about Nicholas Hoyt getting him victims so he can gain strength, and it's the same concept here where he has to almost ration these people over the course of the journey so he could gain his strength and survive without starving and make it to London, where then he has just a treasure, a trough of humans to pick from. But like that whole concept was very cool because he's very weak at first, where he just has to like take out the animals and then it's like one by one. But he was very terrifying. They made him look very scary in the movie.
And when they look, and the whole time they've seen him not running around but lurking in the dark. And then towards like the end of the journey, when they see him flying and they're like, shit, he has wings.
They had this whole plan to get him, and then they're like, oh,
it didn't work. Yeah, one of them I think gets sliced and then he falls and then everyone's just like running. But I thought it was creepy when they found that girl. I don't remember what the actress's name is, but she was in the Nightingale, that Jennifer Kent movie.
Oh, right. Yep.
I like that she was in this because she was almost like his reserved blood bank. Like if he needed it, he could have just like lived off of her. But they did a lot of cool things with like the Dracula vampire lore. Like when you see the sun, and they made it brutal. They made it really devastating when you like turn.
Right. And also the movie
bitten.
does not hold back. Anybody is dispensable. And that's one thing I really appreciated about it, is it wasn't trying to save anybody. Like anybody, it's freaking Dracula. He doesn't care. Like he'll go after a little puppy dog, he'll go after a kid. He does not give a shit. So
Huckleberry.
I know.
Dog.
Yeah, well,
that poor dog.
Yeah, no, it
Don't
was
you
just,
tell me that the fucking dog dies in this movie. I swear to God.
You'll just have to watch it. I don't know.
You'll have to watch it, man.
I hope you don't like any other animals, because talk about the livestock in that hole as well. It didn't really end up.
Well, okay, he does need his blood. Okay, I get that at least. Okay.
Yeah, he's got to get it somewhere. Yeah, and if I'm Dracula, I'm going to take the easy victims first, of course.
But if I know, John, you're not into silent movies, but there's this famous silent movie called Nosferatu, which is based on the Bram Stoker book Dracula.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
There's a 10-15 minute scene in the original Nosferatu that is this movie. It is them taking Dracula's things
on a ship
over to the on a ship to England, and the crew are all wondering why the animals are acting weird and stuff like that. And it's basically the same premise, but it's in black and white and whatnot, and it's a silent film, which I think they did decent justice. But it was just some of the stuff once they got on the boat, it was just kind of not boring, but it got dull. And that with like little character development, I was just I didn't really care about the crew.
Sure.
Yep, there's
Oh,
good
wow.
old Max Shrek right there. Some people
He looks like Danny
believed,
DeVito as a vampire.
hey, there was lore back in the day that Max Shrek was cast because he was a legitimate vampire and he
God,
looked
look at
like
him,
this.
dude. That is
Mhm.
crazy.
He was the character. Remember in the SpongeBob episode when the hash slinging slasher, and they
Yes.
go Nosferatu. That's him.
Yeah.
Um,
Isn't that the episode when he's like working at night and he has to like
yeah.
throw the garbage out and is really scared? That actually like stuck with me for years
Oh
afterwards.
yeah,
Yeah.
Nosferatu, man. But I will say the one thing that made this movie for me was the end. It felt like one movie, and then it felt like some sort of dark universe, like tying together type of thing. And I was
Mhm.
I was leaving the theater, and the score that was playing during the credits made me turn around and go back into the theater because I wanted to see what was going on, because it was
Yeah.
epic, one of the most epic scores I'd heard. And the way that they just tied it up in the end, I was like, oh, I like what might happen.
Right.
But I think getting there was just kind of a little bit of a slog. Just 2
Yeah.
hours of just them on a boat, and
It
I
might have
needed more. I
overstayed
needed
its
more
welcome.
spiciness from this Dracula.
Sure. I think I can see where you're coming from. Or it might have overstayed its welcome a little bit because the same thing does keep happening, especially at the end. Like he has gained a strength, and like you just know that all hope is pretty much lost for these guys. But I'll get into my overall thoughts. I thought it was just I again, I no expectations for this movie. I went in thinking this is going to be a bad vampire movie. It's going to be Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. But I really love the concept, and I thought they took the concept and freaking flew away with it. They just ran with it. He was pretty terrifying, and I just felt so claustrophobic in this movie, and that's exactly how I wanted to feel. I wanted to feel like I was on this ship and had absolutely no way out. And even when you get off the ship, he's still gonna get you, and that's kind of how it was. So, I ended up giving this a 4 out of 5. It's in my top 15 right now out of
Wow.
75 films. So it is right up
Wowzers.
there. Just the entertainment factor was second to none. So I really liked it.
Yeah. For me, I thought the first half of this movie was, I don't want to say forgettable, but I just kind of, with the repetition and things happening, I was just like, okay, I'm not quite into these characters yet. I'm more looking forward to seeing Dracula do his thing. Very new and updated version of this character, where you saw the pictures of Nosferatu. He was just kind of a lumbering ghoul that didn't have speed or anything like that, but he was hidden in the shadows. In this, he's definitely hidden in the shadows, but he's also cunning. You see him smile a lot and like kind of grit these words out that you don't necessarily understand, but you know they're bad or he's gonna kill you. And the thing that kind of saved it for me was the end. It had this epic build up in the score, and the main character, it finally gave me a reason to care about this character because of what he was like planning to do. But didn't like it as much, not quite a 4 there. I actually gave it a 3 out of 5. I was missing something. I was missing a little more action out of it. But the Dracula was creepy. Javier Botet did a great job, but it needed something more. But it made me respect the Dracula vampire genre a little more because it's not my cup of tea. But I liked where this was going, and if they continue to kind of go in this route, I will be on board. But until then, it was just a little lackluster for me.
No, that's totally fair. I can understand your the downsides of the film. It's got a 49% critical, 75 audience. So I think, we're right around, we're bouncing right around there.
Mhm.
It's not for everybody for sure. I mean, it's a vampire movie, so it is
I'll
what
watch
it
it
is.
when
Add
it
it
comes to Peacock.
But yeah, add it to your list
As you
because
should.
it's definitely, if you watch it at night, you'll definitely be immersed because
Yeah, put some blue lights on and you're like just like I have back there. Just put some blue lights on. Maybe it's a rainy day. I mean, come on, you can't go
That
The
wrong.
is-
sound design on this is very intense because there's a lot of knocking
It is good. Yeah.
that
Yeah, because they
to
use the
communicate.
so Spencer. One thing about the movie that I think you'll like that we didn't mention is like you can kind of hear the vibrations throughout the whole ship. So that's kind of how they communicate. They'll be like, and like
they'll
they'll
hear
wait
it.
for it. Yeah, that's kind of how they communicate. If something's wrong, that's how they'll tell people in the ship. So it was clever in that
It
type
is
of way,
cool.
too.
I am known to like sound. So yeah.
Big sound
And
guy.
boats.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
boats. Yeah.
Boats. Yeah, I heard it was like Master and Commander, but with Dracula. I was like, okay, that kind of sounds fun. So
Pretty much. Yeah.
Basically, yeah. Less
I'll
Russell
check it
Crowe,
out when
though.
it comes to one of the streaming sites for sure. But okay, yeah, John, you clearly liked it more. But that's
really-
it for new releases. I mean, I've seen the Meg 2, I've seen Hearts of Stone, and I saw You're Still Not Invited to My Bar Mitzvah. I mean, go to our letterbox if you want to see more.
Those are movies.
more movies that we've seen. But those are at least 2 movies that we can talk about on the podcast. So yeah,
Fantastic.
Fun.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
moving on to our final segment of the show, my favorite segment, one where each of you could become me.
I don't want that. Can we have another?
It's time for the answers, you know this fact. For the questions I'm about to ask, like,
What is the capital of Bolivia? It's
mainstream boy trivia!
Yeah. Yeah.
Try to keep it PG that time.
Let's go. So, all right, yeah, this is the mainstream boy trivia experience. The game will
Yes.
consist of a variety of trivia questions derived from yours truly, and each game will feature a new topic that each question will be in the spirit of. Nate and Spencer will buzz in trying to guess the correct answer. Whoever has 3 points first will get the coveted honor of being mainstream boy of the week. So
yes, can't wait.
Oh
Here.
yeah, I'm so excited.
we go. This week, the topic is who's that movie dude?
Who's that Pokemon?
And we do have the rights to that. I got that. I called Nintendo. I was like, hey, I got this thing. I really want to use the who's that Pokemon sound. They were like, yeah, sure. So I used it. Basically, yeah, we're going to do who's that movie dude. Each dude will get the chance to buzz in based on a variety of hints to help them determine who indeed is that movie dude. I want to tell you guys right now, there are some actresses in here. So they're not all dudes per se. I don't know how they identify, but some of them are women, just for context, okay? There will be a total of 5 hints per movie dude, and whoever is able to guess the correct dude first will receive a point. First dude to 3 will be mainstream boy of the week. Are you ready?
I think that you might need to change the title a little bit because who's that movie dude? I'm thinking it's going to be questions about the podcast, and we have to guess which movie dude said it.
No. We are movie dudes, but there's other people in film that could be considered a dude of movies.
It could be like, who's that celebrity, or who?
I'm just always eating air popcorn. That's my new thing. I'm just like, instead of air guitar.
And you're so worried about it too. You're like,
What we've seen, yeah.
huh? Did you catch me? All right. Are you guys ready? Nate won last week. He won Nicolas Cage
Can you
trivia.
explain the
No.
rules again and what we're doing?
Do you literally just not pay attention when I talk? Because that's what it feels like.
It's
Do you want me to go
debatable.
over to? All right. So basically, what's going to happen? There's going to be one hint shown at a time, and you're going to have to buzz in and be like, Spencer, Nate. Whoever buzzes in first can guess. And okay. And the hints are going to get progressively easier per dude. Okay. So you're going to get a total of 5 hints. I really do think you guys are going to get these before the last hint. It's like very obvious. But
we won't even
basically-
need hints.
Maybe you
Yeah, I
won't.
don't
Well,
know.
you will because there's no
I'm
photos.
also going to buzz in saying quack. So just
You're gonna
heads
say
up.
quack and Nate. What do you think your buzzword's gonna be?
Fuck.
Oh fuck!
Okay. Well, you can do that. I'm not gonna. say
No,
you can't.
it's gonna be Nate. It's the fastest thing I can say.
So Nate and quack. So Spencer is quack, and you're gonna be Nate. You're gonna say your name, Nate.
That is very correct. Yes.
Got it. All right.
Who's that Pokemon?
It's Pikachu.
Question one.
Throw it in the oven.
No, I'm just kidding. Okay. Here we go.
John
Dude
Boy.
one, and we have 6 dudes first to 3. So 6 would be actually, if we have a tiebreaker, it is what we'll get. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
Here we go. Dude one, hint 1, and do not buzz in until I finish reading the hint. Okay. I know you can maybe read faster than me, but just for the sake of fairness. Okay. Yeah.
How about this? We won't even look. Okay.
Well, I want the viewers to be able to participate as well. But
It's an audio podcast too.
okay, well, I guess fuck the viewers. Here we go. Question, hint 1. I star in an animated series of films that began in 2008.
Nate,
That's John. Nate, yep.
would that be Steve Carell?
Steve Carell is incorrect. Spencer, you can still buzz in with this hint if you would like.
Repeat the hint.
I star in an animated series of films that began in 2008.
A series of
Oh
films.
my god, it's a series. Yep. It is a series. 2008. I star in them.
Pass.
Okay. Spencer
Next
chose to
hint.
pass. That's okay. You can pass.
Next one.
Moving on to, the next hint. Here we go. Okay. In 2004, I was in a movie with the tagline, "Success didn't go to his head, it went to his neighbor."
Nate,
Nate.
am I Justin Long?
Justin Long is incorrect, but that would be a great guess since Justin Long is just a very generic actor, and it's probably somebody I would choose. Yes. It's not Justin Long.
Is it Steve Carell?
That is incorrect. Nate already guessed Steve Carell.
Damn.
It's not the Despicable Me franchise.
He was
Nice
on my
try.
mind.
Maybe people just like to think about Steve Carell sometimes. Okay. For the third hint, I don't know. I don't remember what this hint is, but I might give it away. Here we go. And please do not buzz in until I finish reading the hint. Here we go. I star alongside Michael Cera in a 2009 comedy directed by Harold Ramis.
Quack.
I knew it. I fucking
Jack
knew
Black.
it. Correct. Jack Black
Kung Fu
is
Panda.
correct. Yep. I played a character by the name of Jonathan Barnevelt in a 2018 family comedy, House with a Clock on Its Walls. Best known for playing a fake teacher in School of Rock. It is Jack Black.
Nice.
What was
Did
the
it.
2004 movie?
2004 movie was Envy.
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
I knew you guys
Okay.
didn't know. I'm like the only person who's seen Envy on the whole planet. Okay. Dude number 2, Spencer leading 1-0. Here we go. Dude number 2, hint number 1. I co-starred alongside The Rock in a 2009 action movie.
Quack.
Spencer, yes.
Alexander Ludwig. Race to Witch Mountain.
That is incorrect. Nate?
This isn't right, but I'm gonna say Sean William Scott.
That is
Just-
incorrect.
Okay.
Nah, that was 2004 or 5. Maybe 3.
All right. Here's the next hint. Here we go. I'm a 29-year-old actress that you don't see in very many movies these days.
Nate,
Nate?
is it Anna Sophia Robb?
That's correct.
Hmm.
Good job. Spencer, you were right, but you picked the wrong actress or the wrong actor. Anna Sophia Robb is also
I didn't
in
say a
that
movie. No, I didn't say an actor. I said the movie. Race to
No,
Witch
you
Mountain.
said Alexander Ludwig.
Oh, fuck. I did.
I don't know if he's also in Race to Witch Mountain, but
Yeah,
Anna
he's the
Sophia
boy.
Robb is the girl in the movie. So you technically were right. You just picked the wrong person. So notable for my performance in a 2013 coming of age movie, The Way, Way Back. Played a surfer in 2011, Soul Surfer, and she died in a river in British Terabithia.
Spoilers.
Yeah. So yeah. 1-1. We got a
Throw it in
game.
the oven.
All right. Here we go. Dude number 3. Anna Sophia Robb was the last dude. Here we go. Dude number 3. I am a generic actor that's really only been the leading man in one movie.
Quack. Sam Worthington. No, it's not right. It's not right. I already know it's not right.
Incorrect.
Oh, yeah.
Incorrect. It's
Nate?
not Sam Worthington. Nate?
Is it Cillian Murphy?
It is not Killian
Not a
Murphy.
generic
Good
actor.
guess.
Come on.
Well, I'm
Hey.
thinking
Cillian
leading man
Murphy.
in one movie. Sorry.
It's got to be
He's
like
not.
a Joel Kinnaman or like a Sam Worthington or
Okay,
like a
well,
John
stop saying
Courtney
people.
or-
Stop
okay,
saying
good.
people's names. Stop saying people's names.
Jeez,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna guess anymore.
Okay.
Ugh.
All right. Hint number 2 for dude number 3. Here we go. I was in Lawless, The Great Gatsby, and White House Down.
Quack.
Spencer.
Jason Clark.
That is correct. It is Jason Clark. I'm a 54-year-old Australian actor. I was in the movie Everest, and I'm basically Jai Courtney.
No, I get Jason Clark and Joel Edgerton kind of mixed
Who
up.
was he
They're
in The
all
Great
again,
Gatsby?
They're all the same. I have no idea. He's in the movie apparently though.
Jason Clark?
picked-
Who's he in what?
The
He's in
Great
The Great-
Gatsby.
He's
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Gatsby.
No, he's not.
Can you imagine? Instead of The Great Gatsby starring Jason Clark.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's him. All right. Spencer leads 2-1. All right. We got a nail biter here, everybody. Going on.
Throw
to
it in the
dude-
oven.
Patrick Gates. Dude number 4. Please don't buzz in until I have finished reading the hint.
Okay, you say that every time.
I just want to make sure. I played the best friend to Teresa Palmer in the 2013 film Warm Bodies. Nate is on the spot.
Quack. Alison Brie.
It's incorrect. It's not Alison Brie.
I'm gonna pass. I've never seen it.
Okay. Hint number 4. Hint number 4. Hint number 2 on dude number 4. Here we go. I was originally on America's Next Top Model.
Nate,
Nate?
Tyra Banks.
Oh, okay.
Nate is your name. It was not Tyra Banks. No, that is her show. You're not incorrect, but you are incorrect. Spencer, any guesses?
Um,
Played the best friend Teresa Palmer, 2013 film Warm Bodies. It's not Rob Corddry.
Alison Brie.
This is not Alison Brie. You
Nate.
already guessed Alison Brie. Nate? No, well, you already guessed. So you got to wait till the next hint. All right. Next hint. I have been in movies like The Green Hornet, Lucy, and Two Night Stand. You guys got to understand, you know a lot about movies. I have to dig deep to make this like actual content.
You pick 3 movies that I've never seen, so I'm gonna pass. I'm not even gonna. throw
I've
the
actually
names
seen all 3 of these movies. Well, I haven't seen all of Lucy.
Whack.
But... Spencer?
Okay. I Two Night Stand. I feel like I remember that poster. I think it's with Miles Teller and Mackenzie Davis. So I'm gonna go Mackenzie Davis.
Oh, Spencer, that is such a good guess, but that is wrong. It is not Mackenzie Davis. Yeah, it's basically Mackenzie Davis, but it's not. Okay, that was a hint, by the way. Moving on to the second to last hint here. Dude 4, Nate, you need this.
I know Spencer's gonna say it, so I've never seen this either. I don't know what this is.
I was also in Mississippi Grind.
The
The next hint is a dead giveaway. I don't know if you'll know the name, but you'll know the person. You'll recognize. I was also in Mississippi Grind. That doesn't help you guys?
No.
Nate, nothing? No guesses? Okay. The final hint. Be hot on the buzzer here, guys. I'm most well known for my role as the babysitter in Crazy Stupid Love. Spencer, really? Wow. Let me see if I can give you another hint.
Michelle Trottenborough or whatever her name is.
No. Nate?
No. I mean, I know who that. I know who that
And what the fuck?
movie.
Who?
Anna Lee Tipton.
Never heard of her.
Okay, no,
I have.
lovely young actress. I have never heard her name before in my entire life. I know who she is in that movie. But honestly, I couldn't tell you any of the movies that she's been in that you listed. I have no idea who she played.
She was in Two Night Stand with Miles Teller. She was the girl on the poster.
Apparently, but I mean,
see, I got to dig deep. I'm shocked I
Good.
actually stumped you guys on one. All right, Annalie Tipton, still 2-1. Ducky in the lead. Here we go, dude 5. Nate, you got to get the next 2 because there's only 6 dudes. Here we go. I was in a series of films that started in 2015.
Nate. Shailene Woodley.
Incorrect. That is a fantastic guess.
Divergent was 2014.
Okay, I know I'm wrong. He already said that.
I thought you were the release dates guy. God, come on, Nate.
Mr. Movie Release Dates himself.
Mr. Movie Release Dates himself.
I was in a series of films that started in 2015.
It's tough.
This
tough.
didn't really start in 2015, but it restarted the franchise. Daisy Ridley, Ray, Force Awakens.
Incorrect.
I have a
Not
guess,
not
but
a
now I
bad
can't
guess.
guess again.
Nope. You can guess
Yeah.
after this next hint. Here we go. I played a character named Emily Summerspring in a 2018 crime drama. Well, you said you had a guess before, so you can just throw out this hint if you want.
Nate.
Nate,
Joey King.
incorrect. Is not the Kissing Booth franchise.
Quack. Nicole Kidman.
It's incorrect. It's not Nicole Kidman. Okay, moving on to hint number 3. I've acted alongside Johnny Depp, Shia LaBeouf, and Channing Tatum in 3 separate films.
I have a feeling that it's another one of these actresses that only John's been obsessed with and knows, and
It is
we
not.
have no
They're
idea.
more
It's
well
just some
known
hot
than Annalie
American
Tipton, I
Next
promise you.
Top Model like actress that you
It's
are
not.
obsessed
It's
with on
okay.
Reddit. Okay,
Stop making me seem weird. I'm not that weird.
No,
Annalie Tipton is pretty well known. Come on, she's like at least C-list.
Jeez. Okay.
I'm at a loss. I'm past.
She Johnny Depp, Shia LaBeouf, Channing Tatum. Come on,
A lot of people have worked with them multiple times.
that's accurate.
Quack. Sandra Bullock.
Incorrect.
I
Not
know it's
Sandra
wrong.
Bullock.
I'm just insane. Just an actress to get the next hint.
You never know. Hint number 4, dude number 5. Spencer leads 2-1. Here we go. I played a dancer in a 2018 fantasy horror film.
Nate.
Oh,
crap. Shit. I was going to say Thomas and Mackenzie, but that's not right.
You can still guess. You said it's not Thomas and Mackenzie, so you can. 2018 fantasy horror film. I played a dancer.
Oh, Nate. Was it Dakota Johnson?
It is Dakota Johnson. I played Domino in the 2022 film Cha Cha Real Smooth. Yes.
I'm thinking. I'm like, when did Suspiria come out? I was like wondering.
50 Shades of Grey started in 2014.
Did not. 2015. I looked it up.
The side eye. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Fair
All
enough.
Right. Fair enough.
And Emily Summerspring was her character in what the hell? The movie with Chris Hemsworth, the El Royale movie.
Oh, the battle.
Johnny Depp film.
Johnny Depp.
The Johnny Depp film was Black Mass. Shia LaBeouf.
Oh, okay.
Channing Tatum was
Peanut Butter
21 Jump
Falcon.
Street. Shia LaBeouf was
Peanut Butter Falcon.
Peanut Butter Falcon. Yeah.
Peanut Butter Falcon. Yeah, that's right.
All right, tied 2-2 going into the last dude. We're going into the last dude. Here we go. Dude number 6.
Dude.
That sounded
Dude
terrible.
number 6, hint number 1. I starred in a 2013 fantasy action flick alongside Gemma Arterton.
Quack.
Nate did buzz in first.
I
Jeremy
disagree. We're gonna have to
Renner.
go back, but okay.
I
did-
said that way.
I
said
heard
it,
Nate
and then
Quack.
you said quack.
I heard Nate Quack.
I said quack before I even heard Nate, but we'll find it on the replay.
It
It's all
might be
good.
your internet connection. I have a pretty fast
Could be.
connection over here. Okay,
Could be.
maybe it won't matter. Nate, what's your?
I'm gonna feel sloppy
He
if
said
I
Jeremy
get this
Renner.
right. Oh, okay.
said
it's
it?
Jeremy Renner.
Hold
Yeah,
on.
He said Jeremy Renner. I heard him
You
say
said-
Jeremy Renner. So yeah,
Nate, you said Jeremy Renner.
I was going to say Jeremy Renner.
All right, it's Jeremy Renner.
Mm,
I didn't hear Nate say that, but
I heard him say it.
You heard Nate say it's Jeremy Renner.
Yes.
Maybe we have to play that back as well.
Gotta go
Okay,
back to the
yeah.
replay. Yeah.
The answer
I
is
did.
Jeremy
I did
Renner.
say Jeremy Renner, but then the whole commotion with who said it first got.
Right. Yeah.
Well,
but that's
Then
when
you
I
got
heard
it.
him
Yeah,
say
no. Then you
Right.
got it. I
Exactly.
missed when you actually said the answer, but yeah, it's Jeremy Renner. I have a TV show that streams on Paramount Plus. It's The Mayor of Easttown. Or no, it's the other new show.
Mayor of Easttown. It's the king of like Mayor City.
The king
or
of
bullshit.
Fucking some stupid
It's got
shit.
terrible reviews.
Sure. I've been in The House, American Hustle, Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. I played a journalist in the 2014 drama directed by Michael Cuesta, and I'm Hawkeye. So, Nate,
Run over by a snowcat.
that I didn't want to use that as a hint. I felt wrong.
Yeah.
So,
Glad it's
Nate,
okay.
you did it. You are the mainstream champion. Here we go. Let's
I
play the
feel
music
kind of
for you, buddy.
sloppy about it.
You did it.
Yeah,
Aren't you proud of yourself?
I am, but I feel sloppy about it.
You shouldn't. You got it. Give us your winning speech right now with the music playing in the background, please.
I would just like to thank Spencer for being a part of this journey with me. I've never seen Hansel and Gretel, but
How did you know that based on that hint then?
because I've seen that Blu-ray so many times of them just like brother and sister. Just I saw Gemma Arterton and I was like, I know what this movie is. Or
I
know
always
who
thought it
this
was
is.
Colby Smulders. I always thought it was Colby Smulders, not Gemma Arterton, whoever the hell that is. But yeah, Spencer, how's it feel to be a two-time loser?
Hey,
What? He's a
Rude.
two-time. He is.
No,
He's-
that's fine.
He's,
It's chill.
he's
No.
Mr. Trivia. I mean, what the fuck? Come on.
It is really interesting though because I said quack and then I heard Nate like a second later, and then immediately John was like, "I heard Nate go first." So I was so confused. I'm like, "Okay, like, that was weird," but
well, because
I
I was
have gotten a
waiting
little
for,
internet thing pop up in my left corner of the screen, so it
I
could be
did
my
too,
connection.
actually.
So that's fine.
I was
So,
waiting for John to finish, and then the minute he said Arterton or whatever, that's when I
I
was
struggled
like,
to
Nate.
say her name. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like-
So
and then I
mean,
heard,
we'll-
and it was the same
I
thing.
am-
I heard quack like a second after.
I'm
So
genuinely curious to know what the replay is going to say. So yeah, but
Yeah, I don't
congratulations.
know. When I listen to it back, I'll be like, "Uh-oh, maybe we're gonna
We'll
have
see.
to
No, I mean,
run it back." But
By all means,
Yeah,
it
what
probably-
did you
probably
think
was
of
my
that?
connection? I need to.
I'll share it with you if you want to be co-winners. I'm down
No,
with that.
no, no. I'd rather. No.
if you
no,
wanted to
won.
say your co-winners,
won.
I would have to come up with another person right now to break the tie. It wouldn't feel right. I don't like co-winners. I don't like that. This is
All right,
the
fuck
Olympics.
it. 2-time movies. I'll take
There
it.
you go.
I'm
come
not.
on.
That's probably the
Yeah,
only two
yeah,
I'm gonna
own
win
it.
anyway. So whatever.
Exactly.
Hell
What'd you,
yeah.
what'd you think
I
of
was
Who's
so
That Movie,
happy
though?
that I knew the first hint. I was like, oh, okay.
No, that's very impressive. I'm very impressed with that. The fact that you got what was the other one you got? Oh, you got Dakota Johnson and Anna Sophia Robb. Yeah, I was impressed with the Anna Sophia Robb guess as well.
It's
That's
because of
pretty
it was the Bridget Terabithia. Once he
It's the
said
wrong actor.
race from Witch
Race from
Mountain,
Witch Mountain.
I saw The Rock,
Like,
and then I was like,
fucking-
who's in
you
the
know
back
better.
seat with him? And it was her.
Yep. And Jason Clark, he's a super generic actor, and no one knows who Anna Lee Tipton is. Apparently, who would
I
have thought?
feel so bad that I said Cillian Murphy. Now I feel really bad
You should. That's
because now
crazy.
he's gonna star in everything.
Probably at this point. He's still
Yeah.
just a very unsettling looking man. Like
You know
I
that
just look at him.
Oppenheimer's almost made $1 billion.
Good.
That's wild.
It
It's
deserves it.
Nolan's highest grossing movie. That's not Batman. It just passed Inception. It passed Interstellar. It's his.
And I forgot to
it's-
go and see it in 70
Oh
millimeter.
my god! So okay, Nate, get this. John bought tickets to go see the 70 millimeter print of Oppenheimer in IMAX. Like the Museum of Science, like full fucking IMAX. 70 millimeter, 11-mile IMAX print. That night, John went to go see Blue Beetle instead.
I forgot. I didn't look at my ticket. I bought it a month ago, and I forgot, and I had gotten advanced screening
I was
for Blue Beetle.
texting him like once a week, like, please go see
That
this
was
70 millimeter
such
IMAX.
a limited
Like,
release version.
I know.
Like it was
I
only
fucked up.
released in like what, maybe 10 cities.
Not a lot of theaters had it, and I could have driven 20 minutes and gone to see it, and I didn't, and I
don't even
regret
want to
it.
be mainstream boy this week.
I don't either. I hate myself.
Oh my! Oh, I would have walked out of Blue Beetle and just been like, oh.
And
God.
come to find out, Blue Beetle is my worst film of the year. I
Exactly.
hated it.
So
I
you should be
hated it.
kicking yourself.
And you could have been in one of the most unbelievable cinematic experiences of your entire life.
Could have been.
But
I could still
Blue
go.
Beetle-
I mean, I ate that $20. That $20 is gone. I bought the ticket and didn't go. So I mean, I don't know if they're still showing it. I might have to wait another 2 weeks to even be able to get in. It's like fuck, but yeah, just pay attention to your tickets. Put it on your calendar. Set a reminder. That's the lesson I learned here. It's very depressing. So
yeah, damn.
Where
right,
you go?
well,
yeah,
awesome. We're those movie
Yeah,
dudes, right?
we're those movie dudes. Thank you so much if you made it this far. Make sure to hit that plus button in the upper right hand corner, Apple Podcasts. Follow us, subscribe to us, hit that notification button on YouTube. Leave us a review. We'd really appreciate it. And watch movies, guys. Go to the theater. Go to the theater. Don't go see Blue Beetle, though. Don't do it. If you can go see that 70 millimeter Oppenheimer, I implore you. Don't be me. Be you. We'll see you next time.
All right.